Hi Pisces, are you ready for next week, the month of March? We have especially next week and in 2 weeks, so you could say the first part of March and then the second part of March. Very specific and important shifts astrologically. We have, of course, this full moon in Virgo that is happening on the 7th. I think it's Tuesday. And this is followed by Saturn getting into Pisces an hour later. So this day is going to be very important to keep your awareness within, to keep the calm, because, you know, every full moon does enhance emotions. And Virgo is on the opposite axis of Pisces, which is so important as we are in Pisces as well. This month is really propelling us into this rebirth, this new life. Literally, you could be sensing it. We are being very intuitive. Our third eye is wide open. Visions, dreams are many right now. And so you need to tap into the Pisces, which is your dreams, you know, the infinite possibilities that are available to you, and put them into reality. Virgo is also service, like Pisces is, but it's more geared towards practically how can I put that into fruition in the material world. So Virgo, earth sign, is very critical, and sometimes the low vibration of Virgo could be getting into very much self-criticism, doubt, and that needs to not be. This is the past. We are releasing those old patterns, Pisces. And now it is the time to use the higher frequency of Virgo, which is service, which is giving, generosity, but guided by Pisces energy, the spiritual. And Saturn, very coincidentally, getting into Pisces just an hour after, so it's really in the same vibe, in the same frequency of the full moon, is indicating to us that spiritual integrity, that if we follow truly, if we walk our talk, meaning that it's not just about meditating and being in that state for a while, and then when you get into practice, into doing what you need to do, you go back to, you know, your old limiting beliefs. We are now asked to truly become that divine embodiment, like we've been talking a lot about the last few readings. So allow yourself to be guided by the divine, and if you feel overwhelmed, stressed out, or whichever, allow the surrender. Allow yourself to know, to have the faith, the trust in the universe that everything will be fine. And that will give you the heart power to continue, to not block yourself. Now, on the 21st of March, we are getting into the 0 point that we talked about, the equinox, new moon in Aries, and also getting into Aries sun. So that is a full card. It's the 0 point in the tarot. It's the energy of the warrior, and we have the warrior here coming through today. So this warrior is the one that gets to the end of the ego, that is able to swoosh it, burn it. And when we say that, it means that I'm sorry, a lot has to do with communication right now, about speaking your truth. Throat chakra is being very much activated, so that's just a note apart. But this warrior is the one that is this Mars energy, where you have a dream and you know yourself. You have an awareness of your shadow. The shadow is just all those aspects of ourselves that are a bit dark, but they are also the fuel for us when we know it, and when we're not used by it, but when we are aware of it, we can use its frequency not out of fear, but out of love, to actually put into fruition our dreams, our life, our love. Because you'll see in the spread, it's all about, if you relax into this heart, into the higher heart that we've talked about, you will succeed. Don't let yourself be overwhelmed, stressed out, and then go back down. No, we have to find this balance. This balance is crucial as well. Here, you have to get into, yes, the heart, but also the ability to become the balance, the judge, the equilibrium, where you're such at a neutral point within you, in this calm, the stillness, that you're able to see clearly, to know, to follow your knowing, your truth, but also have the humility to keep that for yourself, not be, I'm right. It's just your own truth. And you have to be firm with it. But if someone else, and we are being very triggered at this time still, by other people, situations, intimate relationships, if you're being triggered by other people not believing in the same way that you do, or, all of those things, it's okay. We need to find the silence, be able to listen, and to recognize, okay, there are differences, but that's the beauty of it. We're all unique, and that's okay. But I will stay who I am. I won't submit myself, perhaps, to a toxic relationship where there's no respect or understanding. The other person can be very different from you, but maybe they can't really get to understand you completely because there's so much in another world, for example. But there needs to be a basic respect. If that's not there, things needs to shift. And we'll see actually at the end I have a new deck, and I'll read from the book. It's the Ching. It's very, very, very interesting. And there are like a lot of advice and details, and I think perhaps the reading will be a bit longer, but I think you should like it, and I think you'll resonate with quite a few groups that are listening here. But coming back to Aries, this is going to be the point where, action, getting out there, leap of faith, Pisces. Doing it. You don't know how to do it. There are things that you need to learn. It's okay. You're going to be needing to be more out there. Okay? And all of this, this last year, we've been through so much. And especially this beginning of the year, I was talking a lot about resting, about getting very anchored into your own space within, with the divine, your connection with the divine. And those last few days, a few weeks before this new moon in Aries, really make sure that you anchor this strongly, that you root yourself into such a divine strength that nothing can stop you later on. There'll be like perhaps a few falls here and there, but you need to have a certain background, a backdrop that doesn't move, okay? So that you can go through this smoothly. Because really, Mars, April, we're going to get into the eclipse season. Change. And remember that the only permanent thing is that nothing is permanent, okay? But there is this divine connection, the soul, your spirit is permanent. This heart, this higher heart is permanent. This love, this infinite quest that we have, when we go into relationships, we are triggered emotionally, and we get into pain bodies. We have the Three of Swords that came through, and we'll talk about that later. I don't know if you can see. No, here. Depending on the cards. Here we go. Those pain bodies are to be released. They are to be recognized. They are to be felt. But they are all, you will see, if you have to experience it for yourself. Don't believe me. Experience it. If you stay with the emotion, long enough, you will see that actually it starts to disappear, and deeper than this emotion, there is a vibration, a very subtle vibration of the heart that melds itself into sparkles of joy. And it's truly this feeling. And I hope that you can practice that and put in the comments, that you're starting to feel that as well. Because that's the most beautiful thing. We are healing the heart. Through all of those things, triggers, we are healing the heart, okay? 11:11 I saw. So this is the portal. As we heal this heart, we get into the higher heart. Nothing can stop us. Nothing. If we become love, Pisces, only the love vibration comes. Whatever situation you are in, it could be a toxic one right now. It could be a very difficult circumstances. But remember, if you root yourself into the state of kindness, of simple acts of kindness, of feeling it. It has to come from you. It has to be felt. It couldn't be something moral. No, it's not something mental. It's something you feel. If you become that sweetness of the divine, of the heart, of love, true love, then nothing. Don't get lost in details of your specific life. You will see how things start to shape. Okay? So yeah, okay, get prepared. Now, we have this archetype here of magic. We also have the magician that's coming through. Manifestation is very, very prominent here. We are manifesting from the hermit mode, from contemplation. Okay, so we are manifesting from the inside out. If you are, again, feeling your dreams, feeling the heart, feeling the divine, this is what you will manifest. So, very important to be aware of your thoughts, of your emotions, of your feelings, of your body, of the relaxation of your body, because this is what you're going to be manifesting. We have here to see the beautiful potential, the sacred, beautiful potential in every single thing. To think, to believe that everything is possible. Okay, can you see? Yeah. So this is so important, Pisces, because if not, if you fall again into the old patterns, which is, negative thinking, self-sabotage, and the lower vibration of very good that we've talked about, then you lose your power. And again, this is what you will manifest. Okay? So remember that you don't mind the expectation of other people or the conventions or being in conformity with everything. Here, you are someone that is unconventional, that is a rebel, different, and you're unique. And so do what feels good to you. Little things. And do it your way. Okay? Let the magic of who you are shine. All right? You are being called by the muse here. So inspiration is coming through if you allow it, if you're connected. If you're truly connected with more than you, you will see how magically things start to come to you, ideas, doing things differently. Okay? And here we have abundance coming through. You have excellence and feeling full. This is like an Ace of Cups energy, and actually the Ace of Cups came in a tarot, and specifically here is coming with the word love. This true love, that could be also beautiful love coming into your life. But we're talking about here about plenitude, about Lakshmi, about true abundance, about this rebirth into, yes, I'm abundant. Yes, I'm joyful. Yes, I'm ecstatic. I'm blissful. And I live that. Remember, we have to practice. We have to walk our talk. Again, this justice is coming through. And it's so funny because the different decks just literally confirm themselves. So this justice that we talked about, being at the neutral point, at the strategic point, seeing things clearly without emotions, but following your heart. Now, not falling into doubt, okay? This doubt will kill you, Pisces, and it has killed you. 555 was on the clock right now. 555 has to do with your freedom, with also, I didn't talk about Pluto getting into Aquarius on the 23rd, so a few days after the new moon in Aquarius. Also, that's huge, and that's going to be in Aquarius for 20 years. So Pluto in Aquarius has to do, Aquarius has to do with the freedom, the authenticity, the uniqueness, the sometimes eccentricity. And Pluto goes into the depth of that, right? There's transformation that happens. It's the ruler of Scorpio. So let yourself, from now on, get into that uniqueness of who you are. And remember, Saturn in Pisces is going to be there for 3 years. So we have like a window of 3 years from 2023 to 2026, where this spiritual integrity is what is going to move us forward. Okay? And get into, from the doubt, get into this you, selfhood. That means fullness. That means confidence, presence, no doubt, just doing, trust, faith. Okay? And when we talked about this, there's a body that came through. It is an embodiment. It is an embodiment. And this embodiment means that you ground yourself, whatever is going to happen, all the changes that we're going to go through in March, April, May. We need to ground ourselves into the vibration within. There's nothing else. If you are connected with the earth and with the cosmos, the divine connection, you have a body to invite the divine connection. If you didn't have a body, this divine connection and frequency couldn't ground itself into your body. Okay? So there's no separation between the higher chakras and the lower chakras. They all need to be aligned. As well as we talked about the heart and the mind. The mind and the heart need to be aligned. Okay? And that brings this third card of abundance. You have cornucopia. And we have 2 hands here with the third eye. So the third eye, again, like I said, your manifestation will come from your ability to connect higher than this mind. Okay? And then partnerships should be allowed. Yes, we're talking about authenticity. Aquarius also has to do with service to humanity, community. So how can you be unique, but also because you are your unique self, you will connect with your soul tribe. And you need to be able to also be humble enough to work with others, cooperate with others. It's interesting because here it could also be a particular relationship. We have here 2 hands that we just saw and rainbow transference. So, yes, you can see. This is so important because through partnership, and it can be business, it can be both, intimate, by recognizing differences, but not losing yourself. With enough acceptance and compassion here. We're in Pisces. Being of service. Things can be healed at this time when it comes to relationships. But you don't accept any bull. You know what? No bull means that spiritual integrity. You're you. And nobody could affect that. Anchor yourself into that. The messenger here, we have the key. There's something that needs to be written. Whatever ideas come through, you need to put them onto paper, perhaps plan if there's a lot of things to do, just put them onto paper and forget about them, right? There's a need here to get organized. Virgo is very organized. As well, Virgo has to do with purification, has to do with, it's the Virgin. So it's truly this purity of love, this purity of service. But also you could find that you need to cleanse yourself with sage, or just take a good shower, go to the water, or simply also clean your room, clean your space. Okay? Now, getting into the tarot that came through, they came like two by two, which is interesting. You got this Hermit and the Magician. So, like we said, the power of manifestation that you have is huge, and it comes from contemplation. So first, it's through rest, through connecting with your inner world, and then that comes into fruition if you believe, if you have the faith. Now, from this Three of Swords that we saw, which is anxiety, which is pain, you got Nine of Pentacles, and here is indicated as gratitude. So that helps a lot, Pisces, when there are emotional pains or fears. To shift that, you can get into, okay, I'm feeling that, but there's always something you can be grateful about in your life. If you get more and more into that gratitude, into that energy, that will shift you into a higher frequency and help you manifest truly what you want and deserve. Nine of Pentacles as well has to do with selfhood, with being self-employed and successfully, a lot of abundance here. Now, after that, you got so many cups. You got Seven of Cups and 10 of Cups. So Seven of Cups here indicated as possibilities, so many opportunities available for you. And then the realization. So, look, everything is open for you. Many opportunities. Just don't get overwhelmed. Just follow your heart, get grounded, and know that you can have your dream life. Yes, you can. All right? Now, this theme of travel came through. You have the Eight of Wands. It could be also passionate messages. It could be internal voyage as well, internal exploration. And it came with Ace of Cups. So this internal exploration into this higher heart, like we've talked about, this subtle vibration of the heart. But as well, it could be that in a travel, you could find, or love could find you, okay? Or it could be if you go to a retreat, whichever, you find that divine connection, that higher heart. And it finished up here with Two of Pentacles and the Chariot, which is movement also, which is being focused, which is once you're balanced, once you find this balance that came first in our reading, once you find the right inner balance, Pisces, you are on, the train cannot stop. You're going to be on the ride. And sometimes it's just a small shift, a mental shift that needs to happen. A mental and sometimes neuronal, or sometimes muscular, I was going to say, the muscles. Because, when we are tensed, it has to do with our thoughts. When we are overthinking, we get tensed. Sometimes, instead of focusing on your thought space, if you just come back to the body like we saw before, you will find that if you simply relax, sometimes you just need a nap. Truly, I've been taking naps lately and it's been great. Sometimes you feel weary and you just take a nap and wow, things are clear later on. It doesn't have to be a literal nap. It could be just meditation. Rest comes, you don't have to sleep, literally. You can stay conscious, but you can relax. As you get into this alignment of body, of your feelings, of your heart, of the mind, that is aligned, that becomes creative, that is not blocking you, then this Two of Pentacles, the options, perhaps you are feeling, oh, I have two options. What should I do? I need to make a decision. Remember, you will know. You will know. Don't get lost into, the stress of the situation is no longer for me, I have to go, or should I not, or whichever. Signs will come. The changes are going to come inevitably with the eclipses in April and in March, like I talked about. It's huge. Trust in the universe. Trust in the signs. And remember that you will know. You will get to a knowing when you get clear. Okay? And all this is backed up by the Queen of Pentacles, which has to do with connection, simplicity. It has to do with serenity as well. She's very grounded into the earth, into her body, with nature as well. She's slowing down, relaxed. And in that way, abundance can come. Okay, Pisces? So now, let's get into this I Ching that I wanted to talk to you about. And just before that, I'll just read you the angel card that came through. Relax. Relax. There is plenty of time to do and achieve all you desire. Place your hands gently on your heart and allow your breath to guide you to a quiet space within. Imagine yourself bathed in golden light flowing from the eternal heart of God. I, your guardian angel, am with you. Allow me into your heart. You will accomplish more by focusing on that which is most important in life. Love. Okay? So important right now. I feel that perhaps sometimes Pisces can get very much like, I need to change, I need to do this now, and then put so much pressure that it becomes like counterproductive. And also in spiritual practice. Sometimes it's so much, also Virgo has to do with, perfectionism. It's good, get into the details of everything, but you need to not get lost in that. Nothing is perfect. We're not perfect. And so we need to allow some space, some ground for mistakes, for whatever, it's not even mistakes, it's just life. Life needs to happen. It's not like all perfect, right? That would be non-human, okay? Let's let life be. And so to put so much pressure into, I have to change, I'm back into this pattern, just relax, allow yourself, accept who you are in this moment. You're okay, you're fine. Okay? The key is really to let all of it disappear. So it's the opposite of putting pressure upon ourselves. Okay? It's a true relaxing, deep relaxing. All right? So let's get into those cards. When you see them, perhaps they don't mean much, but I will read. You can see there are some different lines, like calligraphy, and they are going to be explained here. So this is number 56. This is the wanderer, the journeying. By the way, I will show you what it is. I Ching. The earth is full of people and places, and each has their individual history, tradition, freedom, limits, and destinations. The wanderer roams without taking root. He tests and he visits. He collects impressions and information. He may stay for a while, but then he continues to travel towards new destinations. You are especially vulnerable when you travel. You're not protected by your community or by what you know well. Therefore, a traveler needs to be careful and adapt in a friendly way. Keep a low profile with your opinions and guard your passions. It is better to listen and learn what other people think. Perhaps this journey does not take place in the outside world, but in your inner realms. Desires lure you, and new ideas and needs start to bloom. The situation may have become so unbearable that it needs to be changed. Wherever your journey may lead you, remain steadfast in your integrity. It is the lighthouse in the sea of the unexplored. Yes, we're getting into the unknown, the unexplored, and so the only lighthouse, like they're saying, is you. And this is where you find you, actually, the true you, the natural you, the pure you, before all the conditioning, all the traumatic experiences and all that. And so, yes, you need courage. We need courage to fall, to let ourselves fall into the unknown, right? into the outside of the comfort zone. But if we can go beyond that fear, right, of what we don't know, this is where the fulfillment comes, where we come alive, actually. It's the paradox, right? So they're saying here at the end, if you postpone this departure, it may mean that you never travel to new horizons. So that's like a deadline, perhaps, in our lives. And it's being felt very strongly. There's going to be a before and after this year, this March, April, May. Okay? We're getting into, definitely into a new frequency. We have been, but it feels very much radical right now. Now the other one has to do with two people here, look. So let's see, number 32. The duration, the continuation, and that reminds me of Saturn, of this perseverance. Sometimes Pisces, we can be a little bit so flexible, mutable that we jump from one thing to the other, right? And here we need to perhaps stick with one thing or in a one way, right? There's like finding this balance. To continue with time-honored traditions and values forms a solid framework for relationships to unfold. However, they must never congeal into empty rituals, but should adapt to the spirit of the times to remain alive. The most enduring element in the universe is constant change. In relationships, this sign indicates a lasting partnership. Shared plans can now be realized when they are based on traditional values. Have trust in your inner and outer characteristics, which are marked by consistency, so your integrity, spiritual integrity, and which have stood the test of time. For example, your instincts, and you will win in your private life as well as in your job. Your lighthouse is who you are, Pisces, your truth. Resort to old methods and established models and devise new ideas and patterns of behaviors from them. It is important that you show some endurance, as what you now begin will occupy you for a long time. So in a relationship, there's commitment involved, the Saturn energy, the work required for that, the flexibility, but also this mission that we're getting into. People are united by traditions, rites, and habits, which give security and order in a chaotic world. Understanding what gives matters permanence is a big step forward. Okay. So realize what is truly permanent within you. If you anchor yourself into this higher heart, like I said, this love, this will permeate anyone in relationship with you. Okay? Regarding your question, they're saying, keep to the old ways and you will have success. So sometimes we don't need to be so creative. Sometimes something works. Something we have been doing, or perhaps the idea that you had 10 years ago is what you should be doing now. Perhaps in different ways, but perhaps it can become the root of something very creative and different. Okay? And finally, we have this one. So back to the one person here. 28. The great preponderance, the critical mass. All right. You're now in a situation in which far too many things assail you. Too many things vie for your attention. Need to be worked on or need to be organized. So this overwhelm, many things, responsibilities. All these matters are serious and important and all demand action right now. In order that this exceptional state does not turn into a lasting one, you need to carefully analyze the situation, so this strategy. Thoroughly plan your next steps and decisions. To master this challenge, you need common sense and a sense of reality. Okay, this grounding, Pisces. Bear in mind that you may find yourself in a completely new life situation. It's a Tower moment right now. The Great Preponderance announces a crisis that marks the transition to a better time. We're completely in that Pisces rebirth. Now, most of all, you need to act. Aries energy, the warrior. Walk your talk. Whether you decide to withdraw or act offensively, you will be successful when you remain loyal to your decision with inner clarity and honesty. Integrity again. Remain quiet and keep to the facts, and you will solve all problems, either by action or by patience and waiting. Okay? So, depending on your circumstance, situations, the moments, feel into it, through it. And finally, there are times when too much is simply too much. It is possible that you will have to endure all of this on your own. So be prepared, Pisces, yeah. Responsibilities, Saturn, Pisces. Structure. Strategizing. Planning. But all this fueled from the divine, from your heart, from the spark of joy and inspiration. Okay, so if you follow, first and foremost, this within, this will guide you through all of those responsibilities, overwhelm, stress, whatever, new things, new situations, what you need to learn, responsibilities. All of this, you will carry through if you let yourself be carried through from here. Okay? So Pisces, I hope this was helpful. I love you, and I will see you very soon. Take care.